What's good, everybody? Welcome back to the Blessed Beyond Measure podcast. I'm your host, CL The Source, your friendly neighborhood hope dealer, back with another brand new episode of the podcast. Thank you for tuning in. I sincerely appreciate you spending your time. And today's episode, I'm super excited about. I'm super excited about every episode I get to drop because this is one of my passions that I really enjoy getting to do, which is getting to talk to you, the viewer, getting to talk to people from all over the world that I've connected with, that are following my work. And I really, really appreciate you spending the time and supporting the podcast. And hopefully you're gaining something of tremendous value because that's always the goal. And today, the biggest reason why I'm super excited about this episode is because this idea was given to me for this episode. The idea of the episode, the whole theme of the episode is going to be dedicated to talking to my younger self, basically giving myself advice on something I wish I had known when I was younger, that I kind of picked up in my, I guess you could say, wiser years or whatnot. But this episode is going to be special because it's a shout out to my two beautiful nieces, Kennedy and Cassidy. Their mother hit me up the other day. My cousin, she hit me up the other day and she said that the kids wanted to see me on YouTube, and I just figured, you know what, let me make a dedication episode to the both of them and to my other nieces and nephews. And if you know me and who I am, I'm that fun uncle. At least I like to think I am, and I pride myself on being able to connect with my nieces and my nephews and have that special relationship. Try to listen to them. I try to have fun with them because I value my relationship with them. It's very, very special to me. I don't have any kids of my own, so to have nieces and nephews that I'm really, really close with, it's very, very heartwarming to me. And to hear that they wanted to see me on YouTube and see what I got going on with the Blessed Beyond Measure podcast really warmed my heart. So special shout out to Kennedy and Cassidy, my two little nieces. And to all my other nieces and nephews out there, Mason, Brooklyn, Ethan, Chloe, golly, so many of them. Quincy, who was just born like a little over a year ago now. I got so many of them now, so it's crazy. Ilsa, Alice, I can go down the line. So, but I'm not going to spend too much time doing that. You know what I'm saying? But now let's go ahead and get into it. So, I love this idea of being able to talk to my younger self because this is exactly what I try to do when I talk to my nieces and my nephews and to just young folks in general, who's willing to listen. When I realize that I have somebody's ear and I have somebody listening to me, I do my very best to provide value, say something that I feel like can help them, say something that I think that can motivate them, inspire them, help elevate them. And to be able to talk to the child version of myself, it's exciting to be able to do. And I'm not going to lie, I got to be honest with you. I had a couple things written out and in preparation of this, making this episode and whatnot, but I threw it out the window because I want to talk directly to the inner child, young Chris. And this can also be applied to you, Kennedy, Cassidy, all my nieces and nephews, and any other kids that watch this episode. But something that I wish I had known when I was younger, when I was about maybe 4 to 10, anywhere from that age range, is that just have fun. And I'm sure you guys are doing that right now. As little kids, I see you guys are bright and happy, having a good time, and just living and enjoying life. And I love to see it. And I want you to continue to do that. Always have fun. And the biggest thing I want you to have fun in is being creative. When you're in these moments of like creating, whether it's writing stories, telling stories, drawing, painting, building stuff with clay, whatever, right? Like in your science projects, whatever you got going on, I want you to have fun doing that stuff. Because for me, when I was a kid, I think if I was more dedicated to having fun at that stuff, I might have figured out what I wanted to do with my life sooner. I might have realized what I was really, really in love with doing. Say, for instance, you like writing and you like writing stories or drawing pictures. I might have pursued that earlier. I might have really dedicated myself to learning more how to get better at drawing. Maybe found a mentor in helping me get better in my art, right? But I think when I was younger, I didn't have that much direction. So I kind of just like went with the flow, which is not necessarily a bad thing. But I think when you kind of realize earlier on what it is that you really, really love to do, again, whether that be drawing, writing, reading, well, not necessarily reading. Reading is amazing. I want you to read and learn, but I'm talking about specifically right now, learning how to create things. So I know for one of my nieces, she's into what do you call that? Like pottery, where it's like on that spindle thingy and you gotta just like I can't even remember what it's called right now. But we were talking the last time I saw her, and she was telling me about her interest level in that and how she really, really enjoys it. And she also has a eye for photography, and she has a passion for that. And I really, really told her. And I remember when she was a kid too, she was very, very always curious about bugs and animals and things like that. And she really, really gravitated towards science. And I would say that to my younger self or to anybody out there listening that's young, I would definitely pay attention to what it is that you really, really get excited about, that you're really, really happy about, what you find yourself the most um, joyous when you're doing. Again, that can be even sports, because in sports, like you're creating, you know what I mean? Like you're actually playing, and you have to be like creative to actually be successful at sports. You know, it's not just about being the most fit and this and that. Like that's very important, but you also have to have like this level of creativity in you so that you can do different things that other people can't do, because you're 100 uniquely you, 100% uniquely yourself. So I would say definitely spend time in trying to realize what it is that is really important to you, where you get the most sense of happiness. So for me, I think speaking to the younger self before I even get to teenage years, I also want to remind myself to not be so hard on myself. If I make a mistake or I do something to make someone mad, even my parents or something like that, or if I'm just in a really sad state of mind, it's okay. You got to learn to, don't be too hard on yourself. Take it for what it is and do what you can to correct the situation if you can, right? Say sorry, try to make amends, do whatever you can, depending on what the situation is. But I would say don't be too hard on yourself. And the biggest thing in a situation like this is to always remind yourself to love yourself. You have to love yourself 110%, even more than that at all times. Even when you make a mistake, it's okay. We're all going to make mistakes, but don't beat yourself up. Okay. And when you're sad, it's okay to be sad, but just pick yourself back up. Remember to be kind to yourself. Remember to forgive yourself for making a mistake, and then do what you can to make it right. Right. So that's really what I want you to take note of when it comes to making a mistake. Always be kind to yourself, and learn from the situation. That's another huge thing. You got to make sure that you learn from the situation. If you make a mistake, it's okay. Don't worry. Don't beat yourself up. Again, don't beat yourself up. Don't be mean to yourself. Say it's okay in your mind, but like, I made a mistake. Recognize what you need to do. Like if it's something that you could say sorry for, or you can do something to make up for it, do that. But don't beat yourself up. Okay. I want you to be kind to yourself, forgive yourself, always love yourself, and do what you can to make it right. That's it. Um, what else? Off the top of my head, I think those are some pretty awesome things I would have loved to have known when I was younger. um, and you want to make sure that you don't just keep this for when you're younger. These are things that you want to learn earlier on, but you want to keep with you for the rest of your life, every single day, even as you get older, becoming a teenager, becoming a young adult, becoming an adult. You want to be be kind to yourself. If you make a mistake, learn from it, right? Do what you can to make it right, like I said, but don't sit there for too long and think about it so much to the point where you are making yourself sad or you're attacking yourself. Don't attack yourself. Definitely understand you made the mistake, take it for what it is, pick it up, learn the lesson and move forward, right? So because I think too often times when you're a kid, you tend to put a lot of pressure on yourself. At least that's how I was. And you think that if you make a mistake, other people are not gonna like you or other people are gonna make fun of you. Nah. And if that's actually a good thing to think about right now off the top of my head is if people are making fun of you, I know it hurts. I know it's not a fun thing to go through when other people are making fun of you. And it's not okay when people make fun of you. Okay. I want you to understand that. But there are different ways that you can deal with it. One being to first feel your feelings and stand up for yourself, and there's ways of doing it without resorting to violence, without returning the making fun of the other kid too. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to say something mean to the other kid because honestly, that's just it's not a good thing to do. What you want to do is maybe just like confront them, say, hey, I'm not okay with this. And if you're going to continue to do this, I'm going to have to talk to somebody else. I know that there's like this whole thing, and I don't know if like kids still kind of subscribe to this, but back when I was a kid, it was like, don't be no snitch. Right. But I mean, it's not really snitching if they keep continuously attacking you and, and you've tried every single thing that you can to try to resolve it. If someone's picking on you and you try to stand up for yourself, you've tried to say, hey, I'm not okay with this. You've tried to have your friends help you, try to have your parents help you. It's not, I think it's totally fine if you have to take it to another level. If you've really tried to do everything that you can and the bullying or like somebody keeps making fun of you or something like that keeps happening. So, or you can do what also I do, which is I just totally ignore people. If somebody says something mean or if somebody has a problem, I just ignore them. I know it's like not an easy thing to do, but you just try to find space and try to avoid that person. And if it just keeps happening, then you have to take it to those other levels that I mentioned, where you either have to confront it or you have to elevate it to somebody else that's higher than you, whether it be a teacher, your parents, whoever, right? And just deal with it that way. But, I think the biggest thing to understand is when somebody's making fun of you or somebody's attacking you, they have a lot going on within inside themselves. And some kids are probably going through some really painful things for them to lash out and want to attack you, especially if you're a good, kind kid. So I would try not to take it personal. I know that's a hard thing to say to a kid, but if you learn to not take it personal, not only not take it personal, but learn to have compassion to the other kid, it can really help you going forward. And what compassion is basically understanding that kid is going through some stuff that maybe that kid is going through some stuff at home in their personal life, and they just don't know how to vent it out in the proper way. And it's coming out in the form of attacking you. So, I would just keep that in mind. But again, there's levels to it. I feel like if it's too extreme, if it's something that you feel like you can't handle, it's fine. Take it up to somebody else that can help you with it. You know what I mean? And hopefully it can get resolved to the point where you're okay and the other kid is okay too, right? Because when you're a kid, especially if you're coming up in some tough environments, you go through a lot, and you wanna like help that person if you can, but at the same time, not if it's hurting you, right? To the point where like it's too much for you to handle. So I think those are some really, really good kind of things to leave you with. That's definitely some stuff that I wish I left myself. I think this is a great topic, something that I want to discuss at another point in time. And I'm just so glad that I was able to create this and share this and send this out to my nieces and nephews and maybe my future kids and um, any other kid out there that needs to hear this message. This was really cool, not only to be able to do that for you guys, but also really to talk to myself, talk to my inner child, because all these things I'm telling you, I just learned this in my adult years. You know what I'm saying? Like I kind of was a follower when I was a kid. That's a tough thing to admit for a lot of people, but now that I'm older, I recognize that I was a follower. I was doing things to make other people like me, whether that be making fun of other people. I was the bully. I was actually that person and I was hurt. I was going through a lot of difficult things in my life. So I can kind of speak to both sides of, that type of personality. So I think it's really important to always have compassion, always have fun being a kid. If it's something that you have questions with, don't be afraid to ask questions. Please don't be afraid to ask questions. That's another one I want to leave you guys with. Do not be afraid to ask questions. If you make a mistake, do not hang your head. Do not beat yourself up. Learn from the mistake. Try to make amends. Try to make the situation right when you can, and learn from the mistake. Learn so that you can grow. Um, Other than that, I think that's some great advice. Hopefully, it can help you going forward. And to my young people out there, please always feel free to be able to reach out to me too. If you want to reach out to me through your parents, if you have any questions, because I want to visit this topic again, revisit this topic again, because I think it's really important. It was really cool to be able to kind of get outside of my older mindset in my adult years and talk to that younger self. And again, hopefully it helped you. I had a lot of fun doing this, and I love you all. And I hope that this helped you in any way that it could. Okay, guys, till the next time, stay up and stay blessed. Peace.
Funky donkey. Yeah.